This unit requests presence in the cockpit to discuss a priority matter. A significant anomaly has been detected by onboard sensors. This unit has cross-checked all data points and verified the findings. Horizon Point Station has reappeared. It is not dissimilar to how the prototype modulator unfolds rifts, Commander, based on energy readings. Horizon Point has been reconstituted by the Protectorate's large-scale rift modulator, thus confirming the Archive's theory. While present data does not indicate if Horizon Point poses an immediate threat, a survey of the reconstituted station is advised as soon as possible. According to the Archive, rifts requires locating the Protectorate's large-scale rift modulator and inputting the rift data processed by the Archive. However, to conclude all affairs will be highly unlikely due to the high levels of rift energy. That is a correct assessment, Commander. Transitioning to Good News Protocol. As this unit was corroborating data on the anomaly, a message was also received from your allies, Commander. Auntie's Choice and the Order have sent word that their forces will be prepared to render you assistance once you navigate to Horizon Point. Briefing complete. Now returning to situation monitoring and data analysis, Commander.
Never thought I'd see the day the Order stoops so low as to pal around with Auntie's Choice. I know your intentions were good, but do you really see these two staying cozy past war's end? Or magnify them. But who knows? This merger's already saving lives, so I suppose it was worth the effort. Nicely done, Commander. It was less merger and more hostile takeover. I don't have all the details, but it sounds like Spacer's Choice tried to outmaneuver Auntie Cleo through quasi-legal means and got a hell of a lot more than they bargained for. And now her new brand's been turned into an invasion force bent on conquering the entire system. Funny how life works out.
It appears Horizon Point Station is still in the process of being reconstituted. The rift itself is also more unstable than ever. As a result, landing closer to the location of the Protectorate's large-scale rift anomaly modulator is not possible. In order to modify it with the rift data you processed in the archive, you will need to travel to its location on foot and seize it from Protectorate control. The energy readings from the modulator can be traced to the Sovereign's flagship, Providence, hovering on the far side of the station. Hypothesizing. Given Protectorate hierarchy and the recent announcement about the Sovereign's mental refreshment, this is likely the Consul's doing. He will need to be stopped.
A would-be tyrant doing something tyrannical. Who could have seen this coming?
The Consul's motives are unknown. While destruction may be the result, it may not be the goal. Warning. The rift is growing dangerously unstable. Using the rift modulator on board the Providence is the only way to prevent certain destruction of the colony. While the Order and Auntie's Choice have sent their forces to assist you in intercepting the modulator, it will take time for them to navigate the station.
Only one person here knows Horizon Point as well as you, Commander. Should be me watching your back. Like old times.
Once the modulator is secured, it may be used to close the rift and save Arcadia and all those in its orbit. There is minimal room for error, Commander. Good luck. Alert. Failure to match nearby hostiles to known Protectorate biological signatures. Providence identified. Standing for the Protectorate colonial anthem is not required at this time.
Being back here feels like straying into a dream. The bad kind.
Falling
to our perfect skip drive manufacturing process. We must all
I'm awake, Val, unfortunately. You can tell on account of the lack of screaming.
Cadet Mallory identified. Status. Still deceased.
skip drive manufacturing process. We must all fulfill our duty to the Protectorate. None of us can do it alone. Remember, we're all in this together. The skip drive is our legacy. It is our mandate. It is who we are. And it falls to you, the eyes, the ears, the brains of Horizon Point Station to determine who is... process. We must all fulfill our duty to the Protectorate, but none of us can do it alone. Remember, we're all in this together. The skip drive is our legacy. It is our mandate. It is who we are. And it falls to you, the eyes, the ears, the brains of Horizon Point Station to determine who introduced the flaw into our perfect skip drive manufacturing process. We must all fulfill our duty to the Protectorate, but none of us can do it alone. Remember, we're all in this together. The skip drive is our legacy. It is our mandate. It is who we are. And it falls to you, the eyes, the ears, the brains of Horizon Point Station to determine who introduced the flaw into our perfect skip drive manufacturing process. We must all fulfill our duty to the Protectorate, but none of us can do it alone.
plasma shower days were behind me when I left Triangle.
These troopers do not appear to be either living or dead, Commander.
That's somebody.
And I'll take care of him, Commander. Not man. Over here. Free hole in the head.
Medics and pharmaceutical provisions incoming. And we're right behind them with a delivery of Auntie's Choice finest supplies. Soon you'll say, that is better than nature.
Forward! Forward! Destroy these abominations! Adjusting calculations. Hold fire on our allies.
Friendly life form detected.
Emergency protocols.
mindful of where you stand. Chasms are everywhere.
In all lives.
Supplies and medical attention are available to you, Commander. I never could have predicted that the rift would produce something so monstrous. Much to consider.
That sounds like Helen? No. No, it couldn't be.
Get away from me. See them? They were my teammates and they didn't listen neither. You'll end up just the same.
Helen? Law, is that you? It's me, Niles. No, I look a mite different from how you remember me. Been working on my fashion sense.
Wait, Rookie? Commander? Is that you? No, this must be some kind of trick. Oh, what's happening to me? So it is you. Thank Law. I don't understand what happened, Commander. Something was wrong with Sandoval and Jepson. They glowed like they were aflame. They ran in, jumped at me, clawed at me. Law, I had to kill them.
Oh, Helen. That's awful. But you were only defending yourself. I'd have done no different.
I don't understand what's happening. Everything was fine. Till the explosion. I was pinned. Fire closed in. I tried to move. I tried to find the Rookie. Then the whole station shook and tore apart. And then... nothing.
She was alive when the rift engulfed the station. That's how she's here now. We could have saved her, Commander. We could have done something.
Wait. There was something else. Sandoval was yelling. DeVries wasn't responding to comms. What happened? Law, I knew something was the matter. Tell me. Tell me everything.
Val and I tried looking for you while the commander went on ahead, but DeVries never intended for us to finish the mission. We barely escaped the station before she destroyed it.
So she never intended for any of us to survive. Figures. So what is it that left me like this? Not right. Stop speaking in circles. What are they doing?
It's called reconstitution. The Protectorate are trying to put the whole station back to how it was before it was destroyed. You included. but it's failing.
So I've come back from death to some warped version of life? All because of some twisted experiment? Is that about right? I assume you got a plan to help me? You do, don't you? Boyd, this is it, ain't it? I'll never see the sun again. Never fly in our ship. Never anything. What am I supposed to do? Yeah, well, the amount of hope I got ain't worth a damn. Reckon best you can do is end this for me. So will you? I'm sure.
Glad we could do you this one last kindness. Rest easy now, Helen. You've earned it. Won't let no one forget your bravery.
Always knew I could count on you, rookie. You've made a damn fine agent. Only wish I'd been there to see it. This is the final kindness you'll do for me, Commander. Thank you. Try not to miss, huh? I'll just wait here, Commander. Go on. I'll just wait here, Commander. Go on.
Here's the province. I mean, apart from the whole space time is sunny. And look there. That rover looks inbound for the skip labs.
Law! These soldiers look even more hideous than our grafting experiments.
Supplies available ahead, Commander. Consider it payment for your support.
You with Auntie?
Hold clear.
We brought supplies.
You may approach,
We're here to
Commander.
help.
We've got supplies at the ready.
Initial observations conclude that the subject does not possess major ailments. Any injury, any treatments or supplies you may require are Initial observations conclude that the subject does not possess major ailments.
Whoa! Tell me, do you feel as terrible as you look?
Initial observations conclude that the subject does not possess major ailments.
Greetings! In what particular way are you afflicted?
Initial observations conclude that the subject does not possess major ailments.
Those people, did they just appear from the rifts? You're the one who forged an alliance between antis...
reconstituted more enemies. Engagement imminent.
Engage development!
Suppose this is a bad time to mention I barely passed my high-intensity arithmetic course at the academy?
appears to be a portion of the incomplete equation.
This is Scientist Burnham.
Incomplete. I like a brain teaser as much as the next fella, but this might be beyond my skill set.
This appears to be a portion of the incomplete equation.
Guns cocked and loaded. Just give the signal. Sovereign's office. Guess money and power can't buy taste.
This terminal entry has a 98% chance of containing statements that are 100% false.
Wow, ain't that convenient. First nice thing the Sovereign's done for us. Best to get this equation inputted as soon as possible. I feel dumber just having listened to that. Well, at least we know what we need to clear that rift.
Observations in the laboratory? Our projections are off by orders of magnitude.
Sir, hypothesis was correct all along. The results of the experiment were faulty. Capture the readings. We'll let the claim settle as it lies. Data retrieval complete. To the left, let's go!
Report to intake for processing. Welcome aboard.
Let's find a way to unseal the hangar before we're noticed.
Looks like the cavalry's just rolled in.
In spite of your success thus far, the hard work is not yet finished. You still need to seize the rift modulator and end the console's machinations, by force if necessary. Both the modulator and the conductor of this ill-conceived plot are on the decks above us. However, there are security protocols you will need to bypass in order to access them. Each deck has its own restrictions, and the lift can only be operated with access credentials, such as a pass card. But these are limited to certain personnel, so it may be difficult to locate one. An alternate route through the engine room is viable, but there is a high likelihood that you will encounter automechanical defenses. Much on this ship, it seems, is not for the eyes of the rank and file. A precision strike team meets the requirements of this mission. Bringing any more troops would have been excessive. Indeed, I will hold position on this level to ensure you are not flanked by enemy reinforcements. Look for me once you have reached the uppermost level. We will regroup there.
If you must replace lost equipment, please submit proof of punishment. Unit does not accept blood. Please make a request. Displaying in...
What's going on down there, Deck 01? I saw an intruder alert. This intercom is to be used for emergencies only. Misuse of this intercom now. How can I assist you, Deck 01? How many times must I explain this to you all down there? Every subject aboard the Providence must keep their deck access credentials on their person at all times. If you misplaced your access card, Sovereign help you, because I surely cannot. Perhaps a colleague would be willing to lend you theirs,
Multiple threats and hazards identified ahead. Seeking an alternative to direct conflict is recommended.
As a member of the... How might this unit bolster or reduce your current blood volume? Note, by viewing inventory, user admits they possess foreign currency and shall submit to...
trying my matriarch-given patience, Deck 01. What is it? Again? I shall send her down right away. But this is becoming a daily occurrence, and I will see such slothfulness reflected on her record. Exactly right. You think I enjoy sitting here, fielding inane requests day after day? But I remind you that gossip is strictly prohibited over this channel. Over and out.
You know, it's against code to impede me from seeking medical treatment. Has everyone dropped of exhaustion? No, maybe some sort of drill. Or someone slipped oxymorphone into the bore slip. Please, let me get release from this life. I'm here for my treatment, doctor, but there's another pain that I can't take anymore in my mind. My fortitude and focus are weak. I fear my mental health may be slipping.
Processing mention of mental health. Error. Query not found. Please produce your knees for anti-lock knee injection.
So sorry, I have an appointment to keep. Please, let me get...
Please keep... How might this unit bolster or reduce your current blood volume? Doctor-patient confidentiality is currently enabled. Unit cannot share patient details. Forgetting complete.
So sorry, I have an appointment to keep.
What is it?
You know, it's against code to impede me, so, you know, please. So sorry, I have an appointment to keep.
Alert. Top dial.
We've got to be better than this, Commander.
Access credentials have already been acquired, Commander. No further credentials required. The rift modulator is likely located on this deck. More information may aid in its acquisition.
Oh, we can carry this momentum through to the console.
actually authorized? Come here a moment. Be wary. I've heard there's an intruder aboard. Ah, I suppose that could be you. Forgive me. I'm still a little addled from my last refreshment. I'm going to set off an alarm, okay? Oh, my apologies. I had not considered that additional help might be sought to make up for my deficiencies. And I suppose that's why I'm not in charge around here, and never will be. If you haven't been here before, you'll want to speak with Chief Scientist Montserrat. He's in the Rift Chamber. Be sure to show him your credentials. Security's been awfully stringent of late. Wouldn't do to be accidentally permanently discharged on your first day. I've been trying to convince everyone I'm perfectly fine. For if I do not, I fear I might be remade as part of the new plan for Arcadia. I do not wish to be remade.
No one deserves this. Seeing evidence like this might dent the console's plan some, but I'm guessing he's far past reason.
My fellow scientists seemed rather confused. What exactly was it that you needed? I'm rather short on time, as a gander outside might tell you. Yeah, well, we all have urgent needs. And mine is to keep my lab and hopefully the rest of this system from falling apart. I need the modulator for my own analysis. You can wait.
So you are familiar with the work we're doing?
Tell me, what do you make of our experimentations? Ah, so you are seeing what I'm seeing. I fear that I was alone. But none of these daft scientists seem to show any concern over our findings. Reconstitution is not working as expected. We are dealing with twisted versions of what was once normal. It's as I've been saying for weeks, but still, this ludicrous experiment continues. And what makes you think that you have the authority to fix this? Then we are indeed of the same mind. But you are not the one that I must convince to deviate from this mess we're in. Our situation is far more dire than it may seem. There is no proof that Rift data can be stabilized or even edited. The Consul's plan will fail completely. But he no longer listens to me, which is distressing. I've prepared a report for him showing how the very structure of the modulator makes what we're attempting impossible. But I doubt he will pay it much mind. Yes, but as I said, I fear the report won't do any good. It's clear you aren't bound by the same rules as the rest of us somehow. If he won't hear Mia, perhaps a third party will have more luck. Here, use this keycard on the module over there. It will allow you to download my report and grant you access to the control deck. I hope you're able to sway him, because if you don't, we're all dead. A deck up in the control room. The console is the only one who has the means of controlling it, which makes your persuading him that much more necessary. Go now.
Due to the unexpected scale of the Rift modulator, separating it from the ship is impossible. This unit recommends seeking more information about the modulator.
Accessing report. Rift restoration analysis. Compiled by Chief Scientist Monserrate. Marked for delivery to Consul Thoreau.
Esteemed Consul, after much analysis, my conclusion is that the modulator we have worked tirelessly to build will not function as intended when used for reconstituting matter from rifts. Every test of reconstitution has resulted in demonstrable failure. Proceeding as we are now with Horizon Point Station will surely lead to severe, unanticipated consequences. The modulator is only effective at closing rifts from unsafe distances. Using it to close exacerbated rifts will certainly lead to the destruction of any vessel carrying it. Unfortunately, the data that we originally had hoped for from the ancient rifts detected in the far reaches of space untouched by humanity has not yielded any of its secrets. And we are now out of time. Recent readings suggest that we're on the verge of losing control of this rift. I recommend diverting from our current plan before it is too late for Arcadia. I've included extensive notes and annotations appended to the modulator schematics to substantiate these conclusions. I know you will guide us wisely, my dear Consul.
Are causing rifts. Why are they showing up past the frontiers of known space? This is stuff all right, but we'll have to worry about it later. Right now, we should concentrate on finding the console.
Your punctuality is as commendable as ever. How did you fare in securing the rift modulator? Yet one more hindrance to overcome in this endeavor. Nevertheless, I expect you to guard those plans closely in the interim. Did you find anything else of note? When one learns information that rattles their understanding of the universe, one may take a moment to consider the gravity of said information. We know that rifts are only caused by skip drives, so if they are appearing in non-colonized space, then this is truly momentous. It proves definitively that life did not originate on Earth, and may, in fact, exist elsewhere in other forms. I concur. This is a discussion for later, with laureates in attendance. For now, we must confront the Consul before he wrests that future away forever. He is just through those doors. I have run the numbers, and should you wish to negotiate with the Consul, you must be strategic. He will not react well to a direct attack on his character or methods early on. It certainly may, at which point we may find the opening needed to convince him to stand down. The situation is more likely to devolve into violence than not, but I am willing to give this solution a chance, if only to observe what arguments you construct.
Not that the Consul deserves it, none, but if we can end things peaceably, we should try for it.
You should take this time to prepare, replenish your supplies, explore your environment for any advantages. Consider what options you may have in the event negotiations fail. And if there is anything more you need to say to me or your companions, I encourage you to divest yourself of these diversionary thoughts while you still can.
Just goes to show, all the power in the world still can't protect you from a knife in the back. This is it, Commander. Only thing standing between us and saving Arcadia is a single dastardly villain. Feels almost quaint after everything else, don't it? This is the mission we should have been on from the moment the Earth Directorate dropped us into the system. Liberating Arcadia from its despots. I think of it as more of a group effort, but you're welcome. You know, back in the day, reading tales of all your daring do's, never could have imagined myself fighting alongside you. Not just as a fellow agent, but also a friend. Funny how life turns out. All right, enough jawing. Let's show the consul to his reward. Law knows it's long past due.
I have nothing more for you for the time being.
This unit remains ready to assist you in the violent removal of the consul through the following options: exsanguination, blunt force trauma, and dismemberment. Due to the urgent threat of the rift, it is not advised to wait for the consul's aging-associated biological decline. If your locomotion is suffering impairment, Commander, this unit can provide a numbing shot to reduce discomfort. Some narcosis may occur. Acknowledged. Adding sterilize needle and administer shot to post-mission queue. It has been an honor for this unit to serve you, Commander. In the event of your death, service will continue posthumously.
The distinguished presiding bishop herself has deigned to join us. What a charming surprise. I might have known you'd enlist the nearest rabble in reach to crusade against me. Loyalty has eluded you for years, after all. Sentinels, if you would.
Greater numbers, greater odds. It was necessary to combat the irrationality of your foolish endeavor. By failing to show reason, you have lost your edict to rule. Now, stand down.
What's the matter with you? Have your wits been dulled? I am doing what is necessary to save Arcadia, and I'll start by ridding it of trespassers like you. You are less a guest and more of an invasive species, Commander. One that I will cull in short order. Yes, I know well who you are. In any other situation, I might be compelled to take you apart and see how precisely it is you operate, but time, it would seem, isn't on your side. You are a relic of an impotent institution, propelled forward by nothing more than luck and foolhardy metal. My dear agent, everything that occurs in Arcadia I know of. My sentinels have made sure of that. I've been following your progress closely, you know, since you so unceremoniously caused our Vox relay to crash into Fairfield. When you began your dealings with the Order and the Corporatists, I thought that perhaps having a chaotic element in their midst could work in our favor. But now you're here, scurrying around my ship and attempting to thwart the Protectorate yet again. You think yourself clever, don't you? The Sovereign is indisposed, leaving myself as the sole custodian of Arcadia. What's his is mine. And the victory I inevitably clench over you, over anyone, will be his in turn, even if he's not here to bask in it. Such bravado is unbecoming when you can't make good on your promises, Commander. Tell me, did you manage to stop us from bringing your peace talks to a swift end? As I recall, Greater Tranquility was reduced to little more than mangled ruins in a single moment.
Greater Tranquility Station was a test?
It was a modest success. I had hoped it'd hobble Auntie's choice in the Order once and for all, but it has proven to be a valuable lesson in patience. I was able to buy the time to enact the very plan before you. Though, judging from that vacant expression on your face, it would appear you've no idea what I intend. Very well. Once the rift destroys Arcadia, we shall edit the information stored within it and use the modulator to reshape our colony into its perfect form. Horizon Point's destruction all those years ago was a tragedy, yes, but without it, we might never have opened our eyes to our true purpose. and the possibility of Arcadia's rebirth. When the matriarch discovered the first skip drive, she set us on a course to elevate humanity. We're now writing our path, and I will do my part as the architect intended. Intrepid, aren't you? Well, what's relevant is what came after. Our matriarch dissected this skip drive technology, learned its secrets, and enabled us to produce them en masse, which eventually led to the manifestation of rifts. But it was not until well after Horizon Point's untimely end that we understood the opportunity gifted us. The opportunity to reconstruct the colony in its perfect form. It is as the Grand Architect designed. And believe you me, I've no intention of letting you thwart our securing of a better future. One free of doubt and greed. It's your time that's running out, not mine. So go on, tell me all the ways I'm wrong. Better yet, tell the whole room how His Eminence, the Sovereign, was wrong. This was originally his plan, after all. I am merely a partner, seeing it carried out. Do not presume to tell me what is or isn't the truth. I was advisor to the original Sovereign. I know the mind of a true leader. This is the path Henry should have taken. Yes, of course we argued over methodology. Henry was always too stubborn, too focused on the past to understand the opportunity before him. I regret that he had to make such a difficult choice. That one of the matriarch's heirs is not guiding us. But he needed to look beyond himself, like I am doing now. You just come and go as you please, do you? I ensured he would have a handler by his side if any assistance was needed. And I understand that it is, which is regrettable. But fulfilling the Architect's plan is worth the cost. Henry would agree. The people would agree. Yes, well, we also lost the support of the Order. But can one truly call that a loss? We would have drowned already in the seas of war with the weight of their inaction around our necks.
Reality would dispute that fact, given that it is I who has invaded your sanctum, and not the other way around. The Order has always been the Protectorate's more capable half.
I can scarcely recognize the Bishop standing in front of me. To think that I welcomed your ascension all those years ago. Orlo was at least amenable, moldable, teachable. But you've been nothing but disappointment. You're so busy chasing figments of the future, you don't even know they're leading you off the side of a cliff.
To a man of such expansive pride, all perceived slights become personal. Recall, Emery, that we once worked together toward the same aims. You made us enemies when you started down this unconscionable deviation from what is best for Arcadia.
I will not be blamed for your treacherous actions. A true Protectorate subject knows that adhering to the Sovereign's words is what's best for Arcadia. And you were never true. The same can be said for any subject who wavers. They are dead weight, and we must cast them off straight away. Once I win the war and leave those naysayers behind, harsh action will be swiftly forgotten. And once I provide for the needs of my subjects, I will have them forever. Indeed. That's why my strongest supporters wholeheartedly believe in me and the Protectorate cause. So which is it? Can my people see reason, as you so aptly put it? Or are they mindless drones needing desperately to be saved by you? It cannot be both. So you say, but you've yet to deliver any compelling evidence.
Madness is rarely apparent to one in its throes. I wonder, would you even be capable of hearing facts if we offered them?
I am the chosen shepherd of Arcadia and will not be spoken to like this. I am only doing what I must to restore this colony to what our matriarch envisioned. Free of war, strife, heresy. You must know that you have little chance of swaying me. I will not be distracted from taking what is owed to us. And what is your definition of wrong? Have you anything substantial to back such a claim? I see. Well, the man was always a cynic. I find that attitude can skew results even more than a thumb on the scale might. One data point means little. The Protectorate was clearly meant to harness this power. Nothing you claim can disprove everything that points to this reality. And now I've reached the end of my patience. You came here claiming so boldly that I would fail, but you have yet to provide any proof. So where is it? What do you have? And leave the traitors and invaders alive? No! Death is the only way forward. We can only be made pure from the ashes, despite whatever supposed proof you have to the contrary. Claim? If you cannot see the truth of my devotion written plain, then now I see why you are against me so. But you are wrong about the risk. We are losing this war. It is inevitable. The victors will brutally subdue us until we become corrupted. Until we forget our principles, our history, the very core of who we are. It is better that we perish together as proud Protectorate, proud Arcadians. Preserving our purity is a mercy. More than that, is it not love? Do you think I've found pleasure from the pain I've wrought? No! I've only done what I must. A child, a society, cannot grow into its potential without firm correction. I would die to see that the Protectorate's legacy would not be tarnished. Just as I would die for its promise to be fulfilled, and its subjects to live in peace. As are you.
Engaging combat protocols.
If the readouts are to be believed, the rift is on the verge of destabilizing completely. But the rift modulator cannot be operated from this distance. It must be flown into the rift.
No room for error for something like that. Someone will have to be the human astrogator.
Though it may be troubling to you, this conclusion holds no uncertainty. Someone present must do this. This is not possible. There is no set destination we can command the ship to fly to. The flying and the activation of the modulator must be done manually. I will take the schematics back with me, and, using the processed rift data, of course, the Order will begin production of more modulators that can be operated at a safe distance.
I don't like where this is headed.
Your death will not be wasted effort. I will work with Auntie personally to protect Arcadia, and ensure your sacrifice is remembered for the selfless action it is.
Knew it'd come down to us. Always does. In the serials, this is usually the point when someone heroically volunteers.
It has been an honor serving with you, Commander. Please submit any feedback on your Valerie unit's performance before sacrificing yourself to the void.
So, in the end, the commanders sacrificed themselves to save the galaxy. No one knew their motives or thoughts in those final moments, though legends grew around this mythical agent of the Earth Directorate all the same. Paradise Island's Fairfield remained a burnt-out ruin following its destruction by the Vox station. Auntie's Choice was too preoccupied with galactic expansion to spare resources rebuilding one small company town. Vigilant Hogarth was declared a traitor to the Protectorate, along with most other Westport townsfolk. They were judged according to the paradigm, then sentenced to be executed until dead, forever tied to the city they could not protect. Auntie's Choice assumed control over the day-to-day workings of Matriarch's Mercy, the better to monitor their new colleagues in the Order. The monastery, however, returned to normal operation, tracking the clockwork of the grand plan. The monastery's abbot became a scapegoat for recent tragic events, having not detected Wiley's dastardly schemes. His superiors demoted him, mainly to show their corporatist allies that academics could keep their people in line too. Having died at the peace talks, Augustine de Vries' treachery was never known to the Earth Directorate. She is forever remembered as the star agent who tragically went missing during her mission. Val continued to serve the Earth Directorate faithfully for many more years than should be possible, giving automechs like her everywhere a reputation as stable and reliable. As a result, more Valerie units were put into service, while fewer human agents were deployed into the field. As he rose through the Earth Directorate ranks, Niles pressed for a field directive to deploy the new Val units only when the situation posed significant risk. The policy reduced agent casualties by a significant margin. Oddly enough, in-office deaths increased,
by a not insignificant margin. Agent Niles Ibarra achieved the rank of commander, earning renown as a formidable agent, unafraid to challenge the status quo within the Earth Directorate. He recruited his friend Zebulon Tran to the Earth Directorate, a gesture of gratitude for not airing the Directorate's dirty laundry. Together formed the agency from within, so it might never again bargain with authoritarian governments. Ultimately, Niles rose to the position of Secretary General. His term saw the Earth Directorate at its most popular, or, in the eyes of corporations and tyrannical governments, most feared. With the modulator schematics shared as joint intellectual property, Auntie's Choice and the Order's partnership remained steady, despite the need for constant compromise. For a time, the Arcadia colony thrived. Ruth Bassar proceeded to interface with the archive, an agonizing process that clawed away her lifespan. The archive computed that she was mistaken to compromise with the corporatists. To advance the plan, she needed to destroy them from within. So she proceeded to do just that. She had only been using the corporation for its logistical infrastructure. Auntie herself and at least some of her top executives needed to cease existing in Arcadia, either via assassination or skip-drive-assisted exile. Bassar stripped the power from the corporatists in subtle ways, until it was too late for them to stop her. Yet it remained unclear how long the Order could sustain its dominance once Bassar passed on to become one with the equation. Adrift without firm leadership, Protectorate subjects struggled with post-war life. A small band of hardliners collaborated to preserve their society in the face of Arcadia's new leadership. Despite the recent tumultuous events in Arcadia, it was business as usual for Free Market Station. Sub Rosa continued to supply the colony in the wake of the commander's actions. The rifts across Arcadia and beyond were soon closed. Trade quickly resumed, with Auntie's Choice handling logistics. Yet, more than just goods and resources traveled the re-established trade routes. The Order's version of scientism spread as well. Many colonies stabilized, many thrived, and some even rose to an Arcadian level of prosperity. But there are still some that have never been heard from. All of these events turned on the decisive actions of the Earth Directorate agent and their unique way of navigating Arcadia, its disparate factions, social complexities, ubiquitous product placement, and arsenal of absurdly satisfying weaponry. But through it all, and to this day, Earth has remained inexplicably dark.
Mm.